Hello everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. Today what I thought I would do is design for Easter, with COVID restrictions being relaxed slightly and church services starting again for Good Friday. I thought I would do a design that you could just simply take and place into a church. What I've got here is actually an IKEA plant stand, and I have I've put cable ties on to hold this spade in position, and it really is very stable. I've left one end of a cable tie, so we want to cut that off. What I thought I'd start with the plant material is some phormium, and I've chosen this brown phormium because I thought, I need to put my glasses on to see where this is going. I thought the brown phormium reminded me of a wooden cross. It has that texture that looks to me like a cross. So I'm just creating a line up and down, and then I'm creating the two arms of the cross. I'm just doing this by eye to begin with, and I'm sort of hoping that they're roughly symmetrical. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to strengthen the lines, both up and down. Turn this round for you in a little moment. I need a little bit more on the bottom. And the problem is trying to work out which way to cut this so you get a V at the bottom. And I'll do one more at the top. So there is the basic outline of my cross. And I'll just fill in a little more as I'm going along here. One good thing is that there won't be very much movement in church, so that we'll not actually have to get this fully completed all the way around, because people aren't going to be moving in and out of the church very much. It would be nice to get back to some sort of semblance of normality. And it's just wonderful to see spring beginning to appear, with all the daffodils and all the other spring flowers coming. So I've just strengthened the lines with the phormium again. So now what I want to do is I want to cover the oasis. And to do that, what I've got is I've got some Arum Italicum Pictum leaves here, which are great leaves to have in the flower arranger's garden. They're in the garden whenever we don't have any of our hosta leaves, and they take up very little space in the garden. They'll die down later on, and then they magically appear in the winter time. And so I have just grouped those together in a clump coming down the design. Because I've got a lot of dominant space on this side, I thought what I would do is I would use some Paddy's Pride ivy to balance the other side, because those Arum Italicum leaves are actually quite heavy looking they're not actually that heavy, but they can be quite dominant. That's what I meant by heavy. And so I'm just balancing that by the Paddy's Pride leaves. So I've got my lines up and down and across, and I've also got a diagonal line coming through the design. What I thought I would also do to fill up some of the design is to use this fabulous plant called Choisya ternata Sundance. And the reason why I like this is because it is these bright lime florets at the moment, and they really are bright and shining in the sun at the moment. When I was actually picking these, or cutting these, earlier on today, there was actually a large bee. Just, I had to make sure I didn't pick it, otherwise it could have been a bit of a disaster. And I'm just taking up a little water that's coming out of my design. And I'll turn it round again. And again, because I have put some Choisya ternata Sundance on that side, I'm going to balance it up on the other side so that we have the whole design in balance and in proportion. This will slip very easily, although I'd wait until the weather is a little warmer and the soil has warmed up. So, there's my design so far. To create a strong focal point, I decided to use a different phormium leaf, and I thought I would make some lilies. And to do that, you need a nail, literally a thumbnail, and all you have to do is put your thumbnail into the phormium leaves and just rip along the parallel lines of the veins of the leaf so you get a different form. And then all you have to do is a little bit of weaving by going under and over, like so. Then you take the next one, under and over, etc. And again, until you get to near the end, and then you just simply give it a half turn and start again. And in greatest fluid fashion, eventually what you can end up with is a lily. Again, with it being Easter, I thought if you use your imagination a bit, you sort of start to think this would be like an Easter lily. What I've done is I've also wired a kebab stick on these so that they'll go into the oasis easily, and I have also taped tape on it. So I'm putting these in the design. And these lilies will actually dry, and they will become like a biscuit colour. And then you can spray them gold if it's at Christmas, or whatever colour you wish to spray them. And all you have to do is to let them air dry. The problem is that when they dry, as everything, the plant shrinks, and so that instead of the nice tight weaving here, it will become slightly looser. And again, I'm putting some of these into the back, towards the back of the design, to actually draw your eye all the way through. And I'm just going to put that one in there. Except I'm not sure that I am just putting it in there. It looks a bit high. Okay, so because we're thinking about the cross, although I have the lilies here, I also want to have some red flowers. So I've got some red carnations, so I'm just going to then bring these down through the design, keeping the line of the cross. And again, I'm trying to work in odd numbers. But we'll see whether we actually end up with that or not. That's my intention anyway. Oh, a little bit shorter. With carnations, you have little knobbly bits on the side, and these are called nodes, and so you always need to cut above a node, otherwise the carnation will not be able to drink any water. Okay, I'll just turn that round for you for the moment. And back again, so I have put 3 carnations down the length. And I'm just putting some carnations on the side of the cross, and then at the top. And the beauty about using carnations is that carnations last for so long, whereas roses would have been nice to use. But if I'm putting this in church and going in before 72 hours before the Good Friday service, they may not last that long, particularly whenever the weather is so lovely at the moment as well. And just another couple of carnations. One left, which I'll cut off really quite short and recess it into the design. So I think that's finished. So there is an Easter design that can be transported to your church just like that. Thank you.